You find something amazing. Something almost magical. A machine that prints money every single day. Not a lot at first, but steadily, reliably, day after day, year after year. It never breaks. It never needs to be fixed. It just keeps working, quietly producing money while you sleep, while you eat, while you live your life. Now answer honestly. Would you sell that machine just to get a pile of cash once? Or would you keep it forever, letting it print money for the rest of your life? Most people, if they were being honest, would sell it. They would take the cash. They would want the money now. They would not want to wait. But rich people, the ones who understand how money really works, would never let it go. They would keep that machine forever. They would protect it. They would use it. They would build more machines just like it. Today, I'm going to show you a secret that completely changes how money works. A secret that most people never learn because it's not taught in schools, not shown on social media, and not explained in most finance books. Once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. And your entire relationship with money will change. Let's start simple. Let's look at how most people think money works. Most people believe something like this. You buy something that might grow in value. A house, some stocks, a piece of art, a business. You wait for it to grow. Then you sell it. And you take the profit. That's the game. Buy low, sell high. That's what everyone is taught. That's what school teaches in economics class. That's what social media shows when someone talks about their big win. That's what normal looks like in the world of money. Sounds smart, right? It seems logical. You put money in, you take more money out. That's a profit. That's winning. But here's the problem. Every time you sell, you lose something you don't notice. Something invisible but incredibly valuable. Let's say you made money on an investment. You bought something for $10,000, and years later, you sold it for $20,000. You made $10,000. That feels like winning. But now what happens? First, you pay taxes. The government takes a piece of your profit. Maybe 15%, maybe 20%, maybe more. So your $10,000 profit becomes $8,000. Second, you lose all future growth. That asset, the thing you sold, would have kept growing. It would have kept making money. But now it's gone. You sold it. You cut off the future. Third, you start again from zero. You have cash in your hand, but you have to find something new to invest in. You have to start the whole process over. You lose all the momentum you had built. It feels like winning. But it's actually a reset. You're not building wealth. You're just taking small profits and starting over, again and again, while the people who hold keep getting richer. Now imagine a different idea. A different way of thinking about money that changes everything. Instead of selling your assets, you keep them. Instead of selling to get money, you borrow money using the assets you already have. Let me make this super simple with an example everyone can understand. Imagine you own a house. A nice house. A house that is worth $500,000. You have two choices. Option 1 is what most people would do. You sell the house. You get $500,000 in cash. You pay taxes on the profit. Maybe you buy a smaller house. Maybe you put the money in the bank. But the house is gone. You no longer own it. It will never grow in value for you again. You sold the machine. Option 2 is what rich people do. You keep the house. You go to a bank, and you take a loan against the house. The bank gives you cash, maybe $300,000, and you still own the house. The house stays in your name. It keeps growing in value. It keeps building equity. And you have cash to use for whatever you need. Which one is smarter? In option 2, you still own the asset. It keeps growing. It keeps working for you. It keeps building wealth. And you already have the cash you needed. You didn't have to sell. You didn't have to pay taxes on a huge profit. You didn't lose the future growth. That's the trick. Rich people don't sell assets. They use assets. They borrow against them. They let the assets keep working while they access the value. They never kill the golden goose. They just collect the eggs. Here's where it gets really interesting. This is where you start to see the difference between how normal people think and how wealthy people think. Rich people don't think in things. They don't think about individual assets like a house, a stock, or a business. They think in systems. They think about how everything connects. Imagine you have Lego blocks. Each block is an asset. One block might be a rental property that produces income every month. Another block might be a stock portfolio that grows over time. Another block might be a small business that generates cash. Each block by itself is useful. It makes money. It grows. It does its job. But when you stack them together, something magical happens. The income from one block helps you buy another block. That new block produces more income, which helps you buy another block. And the system keeps growing, each piece supporting the next, each asset building on the last. This creates something powerful. A money machine. A system of assets that work together to produce more and more wealth over time. Not by selling. Not by taking profits and starting over. By holding, by stacking, by building. If you sell one piece, you break the whole structure. The system stops working the way it was designed. That's why wealthy people don't sell. They protect the system. They add to it. They never take away from it. Let me show you the big difference in thinking. The difference that separates people who stay stuck from people who build real wealth. Poor thinking asks, how much can I make? It focuses on income, on the next paycheck, on the next sale. It chases cash. It celebrates when money comes in, and it spends when money is there. It lives in the present, always looking for the next dollar. Rich thinking asks, how do I keep what I already have forever? It focuses on assets, on protection, on longevity. It cares less about how much money comes in today and more about how much money stays working for years and decades. Most people chase income. They want a higher salary, a bigger bonus, a better side hustle. They want more money coming in every month. Rich people protect assets. They want things that produce money without them working. They want machines that print money while they sleep. They want systems that keep growing even when they're not paying attention. Because income stops. A job ends. A bonus doesn't come every year. A side hustle can dry up. But an asset, a real asset, can pay you forever. A rental property pays rent every month. A stock portfolio pays dividends every quarter. A business pays profits every year. Think about it like this. A job is like a bucket of water. You work, you fill the bucket, you drink from it, and then it's empty. You have to fill it again next week. It never gets fuller unless you work more. An asset is like a river. It flows whether you're there or not. It doesn't need you to fill it. It just keeps flowing, month after month, year after year. Which one would you rather have? A bucket you have to fill yourself, or a river that flows forever? Here's the dangerous part. The trap that catches millions of people who are trying to build wealth but don't understand the game. Most people sell too early. They buy something, it goes up a little, and they sell. They take their small profit. They feel smart. They feel like they won. Then they spend the money on something nice. A vacation, a car, a new phone, a bigger TV. The money is gone. They enjoyed it, but it's not working for them anymore. Then they start again. They look for another opportunity. They buy something else. They wait for it to grow. They sell too early again. They spend again. The cycle continues. Earn. Sell. Spend. Repeat. It feels like progress. It feels like you're doing something. But you're not building. You're just running in place. Every time you sell, you reset. Every time you spend, you lose the chance for that money to grow. You keep destroying your own future, one small sale at a time. Because every time you sell, you give up three things. You give up future income that the asset would have produced. You give up future growth that would have compounded over time. And you give up future freedom that the asset could have provided. The people who build real wealth do the opposite. They hold. They wait. They let the assets grow. They don't sell unless they absolutely have to. And when they need cash, they borrow against what they have instead of selling it. They don't destroy the machine. They let it keep printing money forever. Here's the truth. The simple truth that nobody explains in a way that's easy to understand. Wealth is not built by selling. Wealth is built by holding. By keeping the assets that produce money. By letting time and compounding do their work. By never killing the golden goose. And then using what you hold to create more. Using the income from one asset to buy another. Using the growth from one investment to fund the next. Stacking Lego blocks until you have a system that works without you. It's not about working harder. It's not about finding the next hot stock or the next big deal. It's about playing a different game entirely. A game where selling is the last resort, not the goal. A game where holding is the strategy, not selling. The richest people in the world understand this. They didn't get rich by selling everything they owned. They got rich by holding onto the things that produced value. They built systems. They stacked assets. They never sold the machine. So now the real question is not about how to make more money. It's not about getting a raise or finding a side hustle or working more hours. Those things can help, but they're not the answer. The real question is this. Are you building income, or are you building assets? Because one keeps you busy, working, chasing the next dollar, never getting ahead. And the other sets you free. One is a bucket you have to fill every day. The other is a river that flows forever. Most people spend their whole lives filling buckets. They work, they earn, they spend, they repeat. They never build the river. They never own the machine. They never understand that the goal is not to sell, but to hold. But now you know. Now you see the secret. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You can start playing a different game. A game where you keep the machine forever. If this video opened your eyes to how money really works, if it changed the way you think about selling, holding, and building assets, subscribe to this channel. Because here, we don't teach hustle. We don't tell you to work harder or find a side gig. We teach how the game really works. The hidden rules. The strategies that rich people use. The secrets that most people never learn. New videos every week. And before you go, write in the comments one asset you already have that you will never sell. One machine you will keep forever. Make it real. Make it a commitment. Because the people who build wealth are not the ones who sell. They're the ones who hold. See you in the next video.